I have a special treat for you today, especially for those of you and those of us who like dinosaurs. Some of you, including my husband, love dinosaurs. So we have that, I guess, kid in us that has never gotten over the dinosaur. And so there are pen companies, yes, I said plural, who indulge us in this. And to that, I say, finally. Okay, guys, are you ready for the reveal? I have not one, but two pens for you today. All right, I'm back with our first one, the Esterbrook Jurassic. So, Esterbrook is releasing limited editions from time to time. So that would be a standard Estie or, a few more innovations like an oversized Estie or the button fill Estie. In addition to your regular Estie. And the difference between those and readily available Esties is the color or the resin that they use for limited editions, right? So this is the latest and greatest, and this is a Jurassic. Here we go, fun packaging just for the reference. This is their regular packaging. So yet another sign that this is not a regular pen, but we're dealing with a limited edition here, all right? And I've already opened this guy. I've used it. All right, you guys. This is my Jurassic. So this is a regular nib, and it is a medium. I got this guy very luckily before, I guess, almost everyone else. Because the vendor had it on, and I don't think a lot of people had noticed that it was on, so I bought it quickly. And so I had it delivered, and I've already had it and played with it for a little bit. But I would love to show you how it looks and what I inked this wonderful pen with. So let's start it up. Packaging is beautiful as always. This is your standard Esterbrook box, inner box that is. But when you open it, there's nothing standard because this is a limited edition. Ta-da! All right. If one looks closely over here, you will see several colors in this resin, right? So it is green and little specks of dark green, or I'm assuming dark green, might be black, very tiny thin ones. And there is some purple blue in there too, which is pretty awesome and unexpected. So there's only one option for this hardware, which is gold. And then when you open this beauty up, there you go, you got your nib. The cap is pretty awesome. I don't know if you can see inside, but there's like double cap. So there is an inner cap in there that will help and seal your nib effectively, which will prevent the nib from drying out. All right, so the fun part about this pen and just Estes in general is you can unscrew this part. And yes, you can get to converter this way. which doesn't seem to be unusual, right? But this part is actually interchangeable. Let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so this is my older Estie. This was a limited edition as well, Gold Rush. So what I have in this Estie these days is the special nib converter that Esterbrook has. And the special nib converter is meant for vintage nibs. So you buy this separately and then you can simply swap it out. So say you really like this limited edition pen. There you go. And just install this right in and enjoy your vintage nib. So that's a fun part about Esterbrook's. All right. Now, let's talk about this pen. Esterbrook is a resurrector icon, as I already told you about, and beloved and well beloved here in the US. So the current headquarters are in Mineola, that's on Long Island, New York, which is a short train ride away from New York, as I already mentioned before. And well, I have a personal connection. I actually tend to take a train to Manhattan from Mineola from time to time. So weirdly, I know exactly what Mineola is. Anyhow, Estie is, as already explained, Esterbrook's flagship pen, and rightfully so. So the size of it and kind of this cigar shape is just perfect. It's basically all you need for, you know, if you have a larger hands or smaller hands or just like somewhere in between there. This is just a perfect size. Esterbrook uses Yovo nibs, as you might have already noticed. But the fun part about Esterbrook, and another thing that comes if you wish to select one and are able to select one with this pen, is so-called feud nib. So Esterbrook collaborates with different nibmeisters that grind these standard nibs, Yovo nibs, into just the most delightful different grinds that can be just like extremely different from, you know, your regular mediums and fines. And there's basically no one else who does that, unless I'm missing something out. But there are definitely a couple of companies that do that for their own in-store nibs. So companies that craft nibs in-house. But I do not know a lot of companies that would do this with Yovo nibs. So it makes them very interesting, versatile, and easy to exchange. So say you get a nib that you're okay, I'd like to have a change. You can purchase a nib from Esterbrook separately and just like plug it in and basically have a whole new pen. So that's neat and fun. So the resins are always fun, the ones they have. Do I have a lot of cons with this pen? Not really, you know. It is beautiful, it is collectible. I believe you could even choose a real gold nib to pop in here from Esterbrook. So there are a lot of options available to you. I do like this pen a lot. I would say my one con would be that although it is limited edition. It has been produced in quite a few quantities. Like it's still a large quantity production, and it's not like, you know, one pen or 10 pens. It's many more, but it's a limited run. I'm back with our second contestant. Drum roll, please. This is Black Robin pens, and this is her dinosaur hide resin. So this is completely hand casted. She hand cast her own blanks for, I would say, a good portion of her pens are her own hand casted material, as well as craftsmanship. So straight off the bat, this pen is pretty unique. This material has been hand cast by Megan, Black Robin Designs. I'm sorry, Black Robin Pens. And let's take a look at it. All right, so this is the cap. You might or might not see there's a bit of a step up inside there, and there is a pretty good seal. So it is just like an inner cap in there. That means this pen seals pretty well. And let's take a look at the nib. All right. So this is the Grand Ophelia model of Black Robin pens, and I do like this one a lot. I've selected a Yovo nib, broad, very smooth and wonderful writers. And let's cap it back up, and let me tell you a little bit more on what I think about the pen and the maker. All right, so Black Robin Pens is original design, small maker. It will be one and done for most of the part, and this is a fun shape. I really can't stop looking at this one. So what you get with this is original design, hand cast, and original pen material. And in terms of, you know, nibs, it is same old Yovo nib, so there is not much of a difference. But the way this nib is tuned, it's very well tuned. It has a very pleasant feedback when I write with it. It's not overwhelming. So if you're not a person who particularly loves feedbacky pens, but still appreciates light feedback, this might be the one for you as well. And it's not only this pen, all of her nibs in any pen you buy, and I have several, and I've never had problems with her nibs. The shape of a pan is pretty unique too. As said, handcrafted, unique design. So let's compare the two pens. The Dinosaur Party. Voila. This is Esterbrook. And this is our Black Robin pens. Jurassic, Dinosaur Hide. So the resin is incredibly beautiful on this one. As I said, love Esterbrook, and their pens are beautiful. However, even limited editions are produced several off, and it's not like one pen and that's it. But this is one of those. She definitely has more of this material, so I think there's going to be more pens in the future. I hope so. But even if she makes another one, the width might be a little different. So this is not machine made. This is all hand turned. And so I personally love both of them, but when it comes to width and comfort, I think they're pretty close. I think they're beautiful, beautiful pens. And I think it's up to you, as someone who might be interested in dinosaurs, to see which pen you prefer. I do not have a favorite. I like both of them. I think they're incredibly different. And I will have a very special guest to rate these pens for you. But before we do that, let me show you what inks I use for these pens. First things first will be our Esterbrook. So here we go. This is Esterbrook. And we do love our Esterbrook pairing, and I'll tell you why I personally love it. So you might have noticed I do like my Mont Blanc inks, and so this is the origin green they had out for the 100 Years of Meisterstück line. So one of their most popular pens. So this is why I decided to go with this. I do see streaks of very similar phthalo type of green in this pen. So I decided to go with that. And let me show you. This is a Midori paper. Ooh. Very nice. Ooh. I would say slightly on the drier side, but not really annoyingly dry. Also, this pen has been uncapped for a while. So in this situation, this ink is remaining pretty wet, all things considering. So nice one, great. There we go. So that would be our pairing for Esterbrook Jurassic. There we go. So, and next up, Black Robin pens, dinosaur hide. So, whoop, 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 whoop. Same as the previous pen. This has been uncapped for a little while it was on the table waiting for me to get some stuff done. And I would say this is a wetter ink, and I'm impressed with it too. Both inks are beautiful, different shades of green. And I'll show you the second ink right here. So here we go. So this is Pannonia. That is a Hungarian ink company. And the name, I will hope to pronounce it right, Fenuis. And that in English, they decided to go boreal forest, although I think this is something pine related, piney or something like that. That's what Google Translate told me. So I think this kind of goes really nice together. This is your sketching paper. That's what I use for writing sometimes. I sketch a lot with fountain pens. If you follow me on Instagram, you might know that. So this beautiful ink is kind of, appears a little different on different papers, which is absolutely fine. But I think I got very much enchanted with it when I started just swirling around the pen like this. And when I saw these deep, beautiful forest-like and delightful green in there. So this is my special ink pairing for Black Robin pens. And this is my special ink pairing for Esterbrook Estie. Right, you guys, I have another special for you, and I will bring my husband in to give you his opinion on this pen and this pen, and then how these two inks pair, and most importantly, how these inks and pens invoke love for dinosaurs and association with dinosaurs for him. Just for reference, he teaches at a university, and he is a huge fan of dinosaurs. All right, you guys, I hope you like it.
I'm going to start with this one. Let's take a look. Very nice. I was looking at this earlier, and I noticed how it was nice and sleek, and it reminded me of the neck of a brachiosaur. So I'm rating this one brachiosaur. And I love the shape on this one. I like how it's kind of tapered on both ends. And when I saw this, it immediately reminded me of my favorite dinosaur, of course, the Parasaurolophus. Its little horn there, kind of similar shape. So this gets one Parasaurolophus.
Woohoo! Thank you, dinosaur lover. Can I ask you to rate these things?
Alright, so this is the Esterbrook that was used with the Jurassic pen. I think this was a nice pair of ink and pen. They kind of go together. This gives a little bit of a jungle feel, and so does this ink here. I like how it kind of faded there a little bit. So this is the Origin. I like that. This one is a little deeper in the jungle, in the woods, where you might find some unexpected friends. But yeah, I would probably use this ink, but this is a very pleasant color.
Would that be more of a work ink, what do you think?
Well, if I were grading a paper, I would probably use this green.
All right, thank you. There you go, guys. That was someone who loves dinosaurs dearly. I am most delightful to hear from you. I hope to see you around. Thank you. Please like and subscribe if you like what I do.